Hello and welcome to ILTV's Evening Update. I'm Aaron Porras here with the latest news from Israel.
Silence is not an option for the people of Syria, said Israeli President Reuven Rivlin to a crowd of Christian clerics at his annual New Year's reception. Meeting with the Holy Land's spiritual leaders in Jerusalem on Tuesday, the president said all of the free world must help the innocent civilians of the Middle East country torn apart by a 5-year civil war. The Israeli president said he is proud of his country's humanitarian efforts, but unfortunately it is a mere drop in the ocean. The world must act, speak out, and pray, he said. More than a week ago, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that he had ordered his government to find more ways to extend medical assistance to wounded Syrians. The IDF has said that since 2013, Israel's treated more than 2,000 casualties in Israeli hospitals. With regards to respect of ethnic diversity, Rivlin, Greek Patriarch Theophilos, and Interior Minister Aryeh Deri all mentioned in their addresses that Israel is also the only country in the Middle East where the Christian population is actually growing and where freedom of worship is still truly protected. The stormy weather in Israel this past week wreaked havoc to both the present and the past. In the Tel Dan Nature Reserve near the Lebanese border, the rain collapsed a First Temple period wall. The immense amount of rainfall made the soil expand behind a section of the stone wall, and eventually the wall collapsed. Archaeologists hope to restore the wall made of original and reconstructed stones within a few months. Tel Dan is identified as the ancient city of Laish, inhabited by the tribe of Dan after they migrated from the coast due to the constant attacks by the Philistines. In other weather-related news, the Golan Heights received more snow than usual, and an Israel flight from Eilat was hit by lightning and forced to make an emergency landing in the resort city. There were no injuries reported. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ignored the advice of his foreign ministry and instructed the country's UN mission to avoid a touchy vote on Syria. Last week, the decision was made under heavy diplomatic pressure from Russia, reported Yediot Ahronot, a daily Israeli newspaper. Despite agreeing to the Russian request, just days later the Russians went behind Israel's back and voted for UN Security Resolution 2334, declaring Israel's settlements illegal. One diplomatic source said the Israeli decision not to get involved at the General Assembly was not made in the face of Russian pressure. Rather, Netanyahu didn't want to establish a precedent to establish a mechanism to set up war tribunals, for fear that the Palestinians would flood the UN with similar requests. The vote on Syria would have laid the groundwork to establish a system to investigate allegations and war crimes in the Syrian civil war. It's no secret that the Middle East is currently experiencing a tumultuous period of history, and true to form, the blame seemingly never goes to the right place. Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of the Hezbollah terror organization based out of Lebanon, acknowledged that there are powers acting to undermine Arab regimes and their armies. He continued to allege, however, that these powers are all working for the benefit of Israel. He finished, though, by vowing that the anti-Western axis of resistance will be the eventual victor in the various regional conflicts they're facing. Hezbollah, which the US and many other countries recognize as an international terror organization, is an Iranian proxy and has been fighting on behalf of Bashar al-Assad's Syrian regime. The anti-Western axis Nasrallah was referring to is an alliance of Iran, Syria, and Hezbollah. United States Secretary of State John Kerry's speech on the Middle East is a, quote, pathetic step, a senior minister in the Israeli cabinet said Wednesday. It is an anti-democratic step because it's clear that the administration and Kerry's intention is to chain President-elect Trump, Public Security Minister Gilad Erdan told Israeli Army Radio. Erdan said that the speech will guarantee that the Palestinians will never step back to the negotiating table. He also said that the Obama administration has been pro-Palestinian and has no idea how the Middle East works. Kerry is expected to discuss his country's abstention on the vote to pass UN Security Council Resolution 2334, which described Israel's West Bank settlements as having no legal validity.
That's all for now. Tune in to ILTV for our main daily broadcast playing after this. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you tomorrow with our morning briefing from Israel at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.